Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone from tarotforhealing.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. This is the weekly reading from the 13th to the 19th. And today I'm using another deck that I bought recently, which is this Victorian Steampunk Tarot. There are quite a few steampunk related decks or themed decks. I don't own any others. Like, this is the first that I have bought, but I really love this one. I love the style of this one, and I have done a review on this deck. It is on my website, so do click the link in the description box to see that one and to read it and such. And then it has a guidebook that comes with it as well. It's an alright guidebook, pretty good guidebook. So yes, I've already pulled some cards. The first card to show up is the 10 of Dragonflies. The 10 of Dragonflies is the 10 of Cups, like in the traditional tarot. And so what this card can represent is feeling a sense of emotional fulfillment, feeling happy, feeling like you have accomplished something within yourself emotionally, or something that you have accomplished is making you feel a sense of emotional satisfaction. It can also be representing support from others, having a loving support system. So this could be a partner in your life, this could be your family, friends, people around you that just show you a lot of love and support and care. So the feeling of this card is really nice, especially being that last week, the last card that we ended on was the 10 of Pentacles, and those two cards together, which is interesting because sometimes in readings, well, quite frequently they actually can show up together, like the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, and they both can represent that sort of support from family, but it's just a different element of support. Whereas this one leans more on emotional support. The 10 of Pentacles can be more about, stability. It can also represent financial support, stuff like that. But there's still, to me, like a sense of family and a sense of care, like that. It sort of runs through both cards. So that could be something that maybe, like, for some of you guys has really been showing up for you, like situations with family, or just getting on much better with family, or being in a position where you have seen the support and the help that your family are willing to offer you, which can help relationships. So, or it could just be spending much more time with the people that you love and that love you and that care for you. So that's a nice card to begin on. The middle of the week is the the Knight of Bees shows up, and the Knight of Bees is the Knight of Swords in the traditional tarot deck. And so this can represent a person. Usually knights kind of represent people that are fairly young, not as young as pages, but they could be like 20s, sort of early 30s kind of age. And so the knights, it can represent a person in your life that is very logical, somebody that, because they are quite young, they may rush into things quite quickly. They might even jump to conclusions quite quickly about people and others and stuff like that. They're good conversationalists, and they're very logical and analytical when it comes to their thinking, and sometimes it can mean that they speak in a very direct way. Some people might find them to be a bit cold, but I think that's just sort of an exterior that they kind of put up and show, but it doesn't mean that within themselves, like, they're not caring and stuff like that. This also can represent, if it was just more like generally, it could be you sort of embodying that kind of energy where you might be trying to just get through a lot of stuff, or you might be the one to maybe be even doing some form of paperwork, something that entails you to really use your mind, maybe to work out something, to do something. This could be you even at your job, trying to problem solve, or maybe you work with numbers, or you're the kind of person that has to do some kind of conflict resolution or something like that. So it could be work related, but it also could just be taking place just in your life in general. But what I really feel for this card is, for some of you guys, it also could represent even some information coming through. Usually I feel like pages kind of represent news coming through, but I'm kind of feeling like this one has something to do with some information that you might hear about. or this person, this swords person, might be the one to give you this kind of information. And why I'm saying that is because the last card is the Four of Dragonflies, which is the Four of Cups. And what this card can be saying, it can be looked at in a couple of different ways, obviously, like each card can. So it can be saying that an offer is being made to you which you don't want. That could be the situation. Or it could be a case of you're not in the position to really take on that responsibility of whatever is being offered to you. It also could be saying that you could, for some of you guys, you might be feeling either bored or feeling almost, for some people it can represent a feeling of just being despondent, like just sort of either just being in your own world or wanting to just or sometimes not even being in a position to see an opportunity that is there. So it can be you're denying an opportunity, or you don't even see the potential of something that can potentially be given to you, which could have been something that might have been right for you, but maybe it's just not the time, or maybe you just don't feel like you just can take that situation on, or something like that. So kind of looking at them together, it could be saying that for some of you guys, it could be that even a relationship situation, it could have been really pleasant and everything, and then it's like some information, something gets told to you, or maybe you're just starting to see things from a different kind of perspective. Something comes through and then it's like it changes. It's like you either maybe don't even want to accept that person's offering of love. Maybe you don't want to even accept somebody's even gift to you. But there's something that is kind of being offered that you might be turning down and saying, you know what, this isn't really what I really want to be a part of, or maybe this wasn't really exactly what you thought it would be. Which, sometimes it can be that way. Sometimes, especially because like it's two cups and then you got like a swords energy in the middle, it could be that maybe a situation where you kind of felt a sense of emotional connection, or your emotions was more invested in that situation. Now that you're thinking about it logically, you're like, do you know what, I don't really think that that's something I want to do, or that's not really good for me anymore. So again, it might be a situation where it's like your head is kind of in one place and your heart is in another place. But because of what you're thinking about, or the way you're looking at the situation, it may have changed your perspective on how you feel about this situation. So that's kind of what I'm feeling. I feel like these cards are representing some kind of change of heart. And it might have been something that you invested in, like something you've already taken the time to do or made the effort to do. And then it's almost like, but I'm not sure if this is for me anymore. So maybe something that was even giving you a sense of fulfillment at one point in your life just isn't giving you that fulfillment anymore. And so maybe you have to reconsider, is this the right place for me to be, or is this the right situation for me? Should I move on to something else, or has this thing just served its course at this point? It doesn't necessarily mean that what is there is going to be lost. It's not going to be lost. So like, we don't have the death card here, so it's not like anything is like fully ending. It's just kind of saying that you're reconsidering things that are on the table that's been offered to you, because now you may have more information. You may know something that you didn't know before, or again, you might be looking at it from a different perspective. So yeah, let's see what's underneath the deck. The Queen of Beasts. So that's another swords card. This is the Queen of Swords now. So with the Queen Bee, the Queen Bee is the one that rules all the bees. So it could be saying that you're the one that is the queen bee. You're the one that is in control of things, and you're the one that's kind of calling the shots on how things are gonna go. And again, I see that you're looking at things from more of like a logical perspective. You're not letting your heart just take you places and just following that. You're sort of thinking more logically. And that's not a bad thing, because sometimes we can get excited over certain things that show up, opportunities, things, and then when you find out more, or when you really think about it, you might be like, you know what, that wasn't a good deal, or that wasn't a good offer, or something like that. And so it's kind of saying that, um I feel like it's almost saying that you're going to be in a position to know what is right for you this month. And I almost feel like whatever you turn down, it's just going to be because that situation or that whatever came up just wasn't for you. So there's no love loss with this situation. I feel like you're just looking for something else to satisfy you. You're just looking for something else that is going to be better. The Queen of Swords as well, she's the kind of queen that she wouldn't be afraid to tell somebody that, this situation isn't quite right, because she's a very experienced queen. She's been there, she's done that, she's gone through a lot of stuff, and she's come out the other side of it. So she is in a position where she knows kind of how to put her emotions to the side and be able to look at something for what it truly is. Like, she's really good at seeing the truth of matters. And so that's almost like what is coming through, is this week you're going to be seeing the truth of things. You're not going to be overcome with just emotions and feelings, which can sometimes, when you're dealing with too many emotions, can make you see things from a not so clear perspective. Because I mean, imagine how many times we've been in love with somebody and we've looked over their flaws and looked over everything, but just because we have that kind of emotional connection, we stay in there and stuff like that. Like, so many of us have done that. And so, but the Queen of Swords ain't that kind of queen. Like, she will see the stuff that you do and that you either are not cutting it or something, and she will be the one to tell you about it. So you might be in a position this week where you might be telling somebody about themselves because maybe they just needed to hear that. Or again, it's like you're going to be the one that is more in control of your situation and your environment. So if it's been a case of you being influenced by somebody else, or somebody else is kind of coming in, and maybe even trying to be the one maybe in control or something, I feel like you're going to take your power back in a situation. Like, that's just what I'm seeing when I look at this card. Like, you're going to take your power back. And there is still love in this situation. There is still emotions in this situation. But again, you're just not letting them rule you, or letting them make you see things from a perspective that isn't really a true perspective, or isn't really the truth of the situation. So, yes, that's your reading for this week. Peace and blessings to every single one of you. Bye.